Now, unless requested by you guys, or I get the notion, I probably won't test any more of these 18650 cells for a wee while. Well, it's been a while. So, I got approached through Facebook and asked if I wanted to test a pair of 18650 cells by a company I hadn't heard of before called Powerhouse. And that's because they are quite new, catering to the vaping market primarily, but obviously these cells can be used in anything, flashlights, what else, vibrators. I did receive them free of charge. The timing was pretty good because the batteries I was using in my vape mod were on the way out. I'd been using them pretty consistently for 6 months or so, and they were getting a bit past it. Although the Lord giveth and the Lord taketh away, because just 2 days ago my vape mod itself broke, so if anybody wants to send me a vape mod free. But I just wanted to say that I did get these free. Now, there's a bitter element out there of people who see people reviewing stuff on YouTube that they've got for free and think that that automatically means the review is going to be bullshit. Anyway, to those people that are out there, I would just like to say a couple of things. If you see this, if you think I'm going to sell my soul for a couple of batteries, you're off your rocker. Secondly, I would just like to say milk, lemonade, chocolate, milk, lemonade, chocolate, freebies. But anyway, are they going to be good cells, or are they going to be absolutely rubbish like some of the ones I've tested in previous videos? Let's get them unboxed for a look and we'll run a couple of tests. Powerhouse Stratus. I like the name. Box looks pretty good. Loads of information on it. Nice little magnet closure there. Ooh. Inside you've got more information. Got a leaflet with battery safety advice. That's quite handy for people who don't understand how to charge or store or use their batteries correctly. And then the batteries themselves in this nice little foam case and a little carry case to protect them. That's quite important if you're carrying them in your pocket. You don't want them just rattling around in your pocket loose, because they could short circuit out on coins and keys, and ultimately they could go on fire in your pocket, and that's not good. So here's the batteries themselves. A nice bespoke wrapper, security code. States on it it's high drain, 20 amps and 3000 milliamp hours. Let's get them into the charger on a discharge test and see if that capacity is anywhere near what it says. So that's looking a lot better. If you compare that back to the GTF batteries I tested back in March, those were claiming 9,900 milliamp hours and came in at well under 600. These are performing exactly as the label claims. However, the charger doesn't have the capacity to really put a big draw on these batteries, a big load. Therefore, the current draw was only maxing out about 2 amps. We want to find a way to push these a bit harder, a bit closer to that 20 amps that the label claims. So I came up with this. One 18650 battery holder, one MOSFET, and one vape mod. And with a little bit of video magic. Now it looks rough as hell, but it actually works pretty well. As you can see, it's basically just firing the coil straight from the battery via a MOSFET. which allows me to use a light duty switch. And that's just working with the coil build I had in there. I think it was 0.5 ohms, so it's only going to be drawing maybe 8-ish amps. But we want to draw closer to 20, so I quickly rebuild with a 0.2 ohm resistance, which using Ohm's law should be drawn closer to 20 amps and giving these batteries a little bit more of a workout. Now, keeping an eye on cell temperature as I fire the coils, you can see that these batteries are barely breaking a sweat, so they are rated accurately. And of course, I'm firing the coils a lot longer than you typically would if you were using these for vaping. Now, obviously I ran these batteries right down. I'm not going to show you the whole thing there because it did take a while, but they performed exactly as you would expect. And don't MD take the piss out my coil build. I'm aware it's burning unevenly. That was just to get the electrical load required. I'm not going to vape on this. I know some of you vape types can be pretty picky, but this was fit for purpose. So, a very rough test, but it did allow me to push these cells pretty hard, real world, how they would typically get used for vaping. They also passed the charger rundown test, so these are cells that do what they claim. Now, I was going to speculate what cells Powerhouse have used. Like every other vape branded cell, they won't be making these themselves. They'll be buying them in OEM and putting their own branding and retail packaging on. However, it's kind of irrelevant because these cells do exactly what they claim. Now, some people will say just buy OEM cells rather than vape branded retail cells, and I suppose there's a point there. You could maybe save a couple of pounds if you have the technical knowledge to know what you're looking for and how to spot fakes. But that's the point of buying a retail packaged cell. The company's meant to have done all that work for you, and it gives you a bit of assurance. And for the majority of people out there with little to no technical knowledge that just want to buy these batteries and use them, this is a good option. There is value in the retail packaging. Allow me to illustrate. Here's a random bag of cornflakes. Looks a bit shit. Could be any bag of inferior quality muck. Here's the same cornflakes in a nice branded box. Oh look, loads of nutritional information. Phone numbers, website. That's very useful. Get my point? Now, Powerhouse did offer me an affiliate link for these batteries where people could buy them and I would get a small commission. However, I politely turned that down because I didn't want knobs accusing me of only giving them a positive review because I was making a couple of quid. They did decide to set up a discount for you guys instead, so in the description there'll be a link, and if you want to buy these batteries to try them, you can get them at a good price. Wee bit of discount. Anyway, I'll wrap it up there. I hope this has been useful to you, and if it has, maybe click that like button, maybe subscribe to the channel, and until next time, take it easy and I'll catch you in the next one.